What's going on YouTube? A dejected hiker Dave here. I went out to hike in this nor'easter and the winds haven't hit. They just didn't hit. And so I was out for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I was out there completely alone. I mean, I did run into one person, actually, one other demented person. That it was a woman walking a dog, and she was in her late 50s, early 60s, and she looked so happy to be out there. It was pouring rain out, and there were wind gusts and stuff like that, but nothing where I was going to record a video. I made a couple of videos on my Fujifilm camera. I couldn't use my phone at all. And my battery was fully charged on my Fujifilm camera. I'm charging it right now. And I made a few short videos. And on my fourth, as I was talking, it started flashing the battery, and then it just died. So there's a video that I was, it's okay. I mean, I was blabbing anyways, but I was showing some of the weather that was happening to me as I was hiking out there. What I did was I kept the road near me, the access road that goes through Massasoit State Park, and there's all trails left and right. Nice big area to go hiking through. But I made the conscious decision to keep the road near me as I hiked, because I wanted that bailout option for when these crazy 50-mile-an-hour sustained winds came. I could go to the road and be a little bit safer on my return trip out. And I did have a strange thing happen to me. I stopped at a large boulder about 3/4 of the way through my hike to. I think I did about 5 miles today, so it was probably like mile 2, 2.5 miles or so. It was right near my return point. I took my hard hat that I brought with me because of these winds were going to be so dangerous, and I got ripped off because it was just soaking rain and some wind. I stopped at a rock. It was about the size of a small Volkswagen bug, like a little beetle bug. And I put my hard hat on it. And I remember it teetered a little bit, and I went to grab it, and it kind of caught itself. And I lit a cigarette. I had a cigarette, which is not easy in wind-driven rain, but I was able to pull it off. And I walked away without it. I kind of buttoned up and got myself together, and I had some water, put the water back in my vest, and got all buttoned up, zip it up, and I went off. And I left my hard hat on the boulder. So, and by the way, the boulder is right on the road. It's right on that access road that runs through the park. It's not a public road. It's actually gated, so there's no vehicles coming in and out of there. And I realized as I had hiked without my hard hat now for a little ways, probably 15 minutes anyways, right? I'm like, oh man, like the wind picked up, and right away I thought, oh, this is going to be, I'm glad I have a hard hat. And I didn't have it. And I said, oh man. So I left my hard hat behind. And I thought, well, of course, now the wind's going to pick up because I don't have that protection, you know what I mean, for Marblehead. And I turned around immediately. And I was just about at my 2.5-mile mark, one way out. And I said, well, I'll turn around now. I want it. I felt vulnerable without even carrying it, because I didn't wear it. I carried it under my arm. Really simple, easy to carry. It's light. So I go, well, I got to go get it. I said, fortunately, no one's here, so nobody's going to mess with it. It'll be there when I get there. And so I took my time, and I meandered, and I took the road back because I knew that it was off the road, but I wasn't exactly sure where it was. And I see the boulder up ahead of me on the access road, and I don't see my hat. My hard hat's not there. Well, I wear glasses, so I can't read signs and stuff from far away. So I read glasses to drive and I wear glasses to drive and read. So I can't wear glasses out in the pouring rain. That's ridiculous. So I bring them with me. I just don't use them unless I need them. So I got closer and closer to this boulder, and my hat is not there. So I walk around the boulder a couple of times. I'm like, you're kidding me. I remember leaving it here. I left it here. I know I left it here. I remember the rock. I remember I posted up there for 5 or 6 minutes, just kind of, making sure everything was buttoned up and zipped and I was dry, right? So I'm like, okay, well, somebody maybe grabbed it, and maybe it's out at the entrance, a couple of miles away. And I'm like, oh man, well, and again, I felt good. There's nobody here. I doubt anybody's going to be out here hiking in this, except for the few lunatics here and there. So I was making my way back to my van, and I look at a bench that's on the access road, and I'm looking at it, and I can see some of the white stickers on my hard hat from a distance, and I'm like, you're kidding me. And I kept walking and walking, and there it is. I get closer to the bench, and it's just placed and sitting on the bench, about probably a mile from my vehicle. I'm like, that's weird. And I thought, well, listen, maybe somebody came by and saw the hard hat on the boulder and picked it up, though, and walked with it, not all the way to the entrance, just halfway, and set it on the park bench, and maybe thought, who's ever owns it will see it on the bench. My argument would be, why touch it at all? Why move it at all? But what am I saying here? Did Bigfoot pick up my hard hat and play a joke on me and walk it down a mile and a half down the road away from me and place it on the bench? I don't know about that. So I kind of say, well, somebody was out there, because when I got back to my vehicle, there were 2 trucks in the parking lot and mine. So there were at least two other people out there. So, but I still thought it to be odd. I'm not the happiest person right now. I got in my van. I hiked about 3.5 hours, closer to 4, and I felt ripped off. I'm driving home. I said, you know where I'm going to go out, and I'm going to sit at a nature preserve area near my house. There's some hiking trails out here. I'm parked here now, and I'm going to wait it out. I'm not going to waste the entire day expecting to have this big storm hit, and I'm going to get some good footage out of it and show you guys, what it's like out in the middle of the forest in a massive windstorm and pouring rain, and wind is gusting, and I'm yelling into the camera, and you still can't hear me because it's so violently windy. Nothing. I can't. I'm so. I just feel ripped off, and I feel bad because I put a video out. And I hyped it right up and said, I'm going out there, and don't do this at home, and all this malarkey. Oh, man. Well, anyways, I do appreciate you guys watching anyways. I thought about not even putting that first video out that I just did just now, and because I had hyped it up so much and said it was going to be this crazy nor'easter. Nothing, man. Heavy rain. And everybody has seen my heavy rain videos. I probably will not upload the videos from my Fujifilm camera, because it's really just me hiking again in the rain and talking out loud. I do that a lot on some of my videos. It's really me just thinking aloud, Anyways, and I never did find the structure I was looking for. I thought for sure I knew where it was. I left that road on three times. I walked off that road and hiked to where I thought there was something worth seeing, and ended up coming back. I kept coming back to that road and hiking in, coming back to that road, and I couldn't find that. It's a smaller structure. Well, it's probably about a 6-foot structure, which is not huge. I've seen a couple out here that are 15 feet tall. There's another one that's probably closer to 20 feet tall. But anyways, Bummer, man. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I'm waiting it out. I'm going to sit here until it gets dark. And if the wind picks up, I'm going to jump out and go for a hike. And I want to be in it. I'm determined, you guys. So, all right. Thank you guys for clicking. And I'll see you on the next one.